Welcome everyone, I am Friar Tuck, and this is this week's Ask Tuck collaboration with Homeless Entrepreneur. If you'd like to know a little bit more about Homeless Entrepreneur, go ahead and check out the down in the description. There's his website. You can go check it out. He helps people like me who are homeless and want to have a better life. He gives us access to resources and other things. And so for those of you that are wondering why I'm in the truck versus being outside like I normally am, is because we got a big old windstorm, so I'm having to do this recording from the inside. So I was asked by John in London, what role would I hire myself in and how much would I pay myself? Where would I see myself in a role within a company? And I think that I am a great number two. I get this from Gary Vee. For those of you who follow him, he talks about being a good number one, number two, number three, within a company, and not everybody is fit to be the number one. And the reason why I don't think that I'm fit to be number one is because I have a lot of great ideas. My biggest problem is funding. If I had the funding to be able to put some of these ideas into fruition, it would be a game changer in a lot of different aspects of life, in my opinion. I mean, you're not going to see initial results, but you'll see results over time. And again, it will be a game changer. Things don't change overnight. And that's why I think I would be a great number two within a company, is because I'm creative and I'm innovative and I'm able to see what's coming and have a greater pulse on what the future holds for us, because I take more of a realistic point of view to the world. And so I think I would make a good number two. And I think that at a bare minimum, because when I was in my janitorial business, I made $50 an hour. So I think at least $50 an hour to $125 an hour is where my knowledge, my skill set, my talents would be properly paid for with a reasonable wage based upon my skill set. Now, I may be a little delusional, but, I also have a lot of different experiences that I haven't shared with you guys that would definitely back that up. And, having experience running a business, gives you a lot more skill sets than you think you have until you got to put them to work. So I think to answer this question, I would make a great number two, and a salary would be somewhere between $50 and $125 an hour. Hey guys, thank you for watching. I hope that you are enjoying this. Just so you know, if you'd like to help out the channel in many different ways, you can look down in the description. Come on over, check out my memberships on Patreon, and you can get some behind the scenes of what my life is like post-homelessness. Memberships start at $5 a month and go all the way up to $20 a month, depending upon what you want to do. And if you are an advocate and would like to pick my brain, I also have a membership for you where you get a 1-hour call with me. So this next question is from Pepe in Madrid. He asks, what is the most challenging aspect of going from homeless to housed? And that is a really good question, because I've been talking about that in videos over the last couple of weeks. And when I first got here to Arizona, we were kind of housed up, still technically considered homeless, but we were housed up. And then getting on this property and being able to purchase this property, it's a blank slate. So we're van lifing it while living on a fresh piece of property. And I'd say the hardest transition is, there's a lot of different parts that are really hard about the transition. So first of all, I'm used to being on the move most of the day, and so now that I have this downtime, trying to figure out how to fill it. And then when I look at my channel, I'm so perplexed, because I know I have so much stuff that is that's right there on my lap, and yet I just trying to figure out how to organize it so that I can manage it and put it into a schedule and get back to being effective. Because right now I'm still using the same methodology I was using while I was on trail, which is I'm inspired by things that are being said or done around me to be able to talk about a topic, to be able to assist people. Well, being static gives me a lot more time to be able to, be more thoughtful about the actions and about the work in which I do. So you've got that aspect. And then not only that, your body, because of how long you're out on the streets, it takes a while for your body to adjust. So when you get to a point where you can be static, your body shuts down, your mind shuts down, and you become a drooling idiot while your body recoups. You can redline your car for so long before you're redlining it at 30 and 40 miles an hour. You run yourself into the ground, and you don't realize how much you've ran yourself into the ground until you have a moment to rest and a moment without all the stress and anxiety. One of the great things last night, or listening, you couldn't hear a single noise. You couldn't hear a car. You couldn't hear anything other than the sound of the wind and nature and nobody else around you. And to be able to have that peace for a quick moment, your body is just going to just suck it up and want to, sit there and recoup. And so that's another challenge that you have to face. Plus, you spend so much time with society being combative and malicious towards you, that it takes a moment to realize that you're not in that position anymore, because people see when you're homeless that it's easier to lash out on you. You become the public whipping boy for all those in a bad mood or that have a wild hair up their butt and want to mistreat you for whatever reasons that they justify. But then the second they think that you have something, you have a house, you have a car, you have a piece of land, then all of a sudden people start treating you differently. They're not up your butt and using you as a public whipping boy anymore. And the psychological transition for all that is a little hard, because now, that's kind of what put us to where we're at right now. Is the landlord where we were at, she was being very combative. She did not, I don't know if she was a man-hater or what it was, but she was being combative towards me. And because of the environment being homeless, I gave her what she was giving, which was therefore creating turmoil and caused me to step up my timeline to be able to get a property, because I was thinking about doing it in the spring after I got myself situated here, versus the other time, versus like right now. I've been in the state for less than a month, and I've already been on a property for almost 2 weeks. So that's a big transition as well. So there's a lot of different obstacles, and these are some of the most challenging aspects, because you're going from high stress environment to low stress, no stress environment, and your body has to take a moment and really recoup from all that. This last question comes from Louis in Paris. And he asked the question, if I could do the same work that I'm doing here in the States in another country in Europe, which country would I go to? And I kind of have two countries that I would like to highlight. And Homeless Entrepreneur, he likes to call me the homeless historian. So I'm going to use a little bit of history to explain why I choose each of these two places. So the first one would be, of course, England, because on my mom's side, she's 100% Irish. So I'm half Irish, quarter Scottish, and a quarter mutt. And so therefore, England would be a great place for me, because just cultural heritage, and I think I would get along better, and the people there are less emotional and stuff like that. There's something to be said about the British people, is that they have a lot thicker skin than us here in America, who's constantly offended by everybody. But I think that for me, personal wise, I would love to go to England and do something like this in Ireland and Scotland, or throughout the UK. The other place, though, which I would probably most likely choose, because I wouldn't take personal preference, I would look at most impact. If you look at history, for more than 1,000 years, the German people, the German Empire, the German country culture, basically has ruled Europe since the fall of the Roman Empire. It was the Germanic barbarians that razed the city to Rome to the ground. And if you look at the reestablishment of Rome through the Catholic Church, what they ended up doing was making a deal when it was France and Germany were one at a certain point, and then they had split. But Germany actually got the seat of influence within the Catholic Church as part of their role. So Germany not only influences all of Europe, but here in America, we have the European heritage, the European culture. So therefore, we are also influenced by Europe. And so therefore, if I wanted to make the biggest impact in the world with what it is that I'm doing, it would probably be Germany for that specific reason, just because of their place in history and their historical influence on the Western world, or the reestablished Roman Empire through the Catholic Church.